Hello everyone, this is the second part of my tutorial on deluxe menus. Today I'll be going over the advanced portion of it. That'll be priorities, click requirements, and view requirements. If you need any of the information, apps I'm using, whatever, go to the last video. It's all on there. I'm not full screening everything today because that's a pain to get around. I'm just going to keep it all kind of how I would normally when I'm working on it. So hopefully... Now, this will be in HD. I'm recording it in HD, so you'll be able to see the text and stuff up. But I'll make sure to keep the atom window fairly large so you can see it. So I'm going to start with the same menu we had last time. I'm just going to build off of that menu. I'm going to make sure this is still working. Let's go YouTube, GUI. Okay, yeah, still working. Everything's, wait, hold on. What's going on there? Player. Oh, that's right. They got rid of... Hold on. Let me fix that player real quick. I forgot you have to do player name now. So they've removed the player tag because I don't know why I removed it, but it's not a big deal. You should have been using player name to begin with. Okay, DM reload YouTube GUI. Make sure. Yeah, okay. All that's back working. Okay. All right. Let's get started. To start, I'm going to go over view requirements. I'll do the left and right click requirements after that. View requirements are what you're probably going to be using most of the time. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. To start, let's give our item some priority. Let's give this potion priority 1. And let's give this banner priority 2. Okay, so it's got the lower priority. Let's put them in the same slot so we can see what we're doing here. So we'll move this one to slot 2. Okay, now, by this logic, because this has the higher priority, it should show up. The banner will be hidden. It won't be there. It'll be technically underneath, but it's not actually underneath. It's just you won't see it. So let me... Okay, that's done. Reload YouTube GUI. Okay, yeah. So it's not shown. It's in the same slot. The potion has higher priority. Now the priority is there for just that, to define what's actually going to show up. So for instance, let's do a view requirement on the potion. Let's require view requirement. Am I spelling that? Oh, there we go. Requirement. And then we'll do a simple one here. Let me look at the placeholders, and we'll get the balance of the player. Oops, get the Skype call. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Had to deal with that real quick. Balance. Let's find the vault eco. There we go. Well, yeah, balanced. Okay. Let's grab that, and we're going to put this in our view requirement. Now, there's two ways you can go about doing this. If you want to do a comparison on placeholders that return a number, like a balance does not return true or false. It returns either whatever number you have defined. So with stuff like this, you can do a comparison. Let's say only show the potion if the vault eco balance, let's do greater than, is greater than 500. Okay, so what's this telling it is if this placeholder, it's going to return a number, and the computer is going to do the math, and it's going to say, okay, is this number greater than this number? So let me show you that in action. We'll save that. Make sure that goes to the server. I'm going to wait on it here. Come on now. There we go. Okay, let's open this up. So, right now, you can see it's normal. We can still see it. Let's do bal. Okay, because I have more than 500 in here. So let's set me to only 200. Then do it. And there you go. It's showing the other item that does not have a view requirement, showing the one underneath it. Now, you could do this in an empty slot and just have the item not show up. I prefer to have items stacked and then have like a no permission item. Some of the things you can do with this, let me go ahead and show you an example here. This random teleport I have, you see it says teleports you to a random location in the default world. The problem I was having was if people were in the VIP world, that they would be teleported back to the default world, which is not what I wanted. I wanted them to be able to random teleport in the VIP world. So I set it up with a placeholder to check if they were in the world. So we got random teleport, any world, all the worlds it says go to the default world. But if we go warp VIP, this is a different world now. Let me do the menu. Oh wait, /menu. Teleport you to a random location in the VIP world. Basically, I have a view requirement set up that is checking what world the player is in, and then it's just returning whatever it is. That one I think has higher priority, so it's gonna show up if they're in the VIP world. But let's continue with what we were doing. I'm gonna go back to the factions world. Okay, let's continue this. The next thing you can do is you can check exact values on an item, or on a placeholder. So let's do this. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put the placeholder in quotations. Okay. Oh, add a little too much there. Okay, so just like that. You've got your apostrophes. That's the brackets that are holding that requirement. So don't mess with those. Leave those up. But then you want to put quotations around the actual placeholder. Then without a space, period, equals, all lowercase, ignore case. Now, you can just do equals if you want. I normally do ignore case because most of the time you're not going to have to worry about casing issues and stuff. But if it is, if the casing is important to you, you can just do equals and leave the ignore case off. You're going to do a space, and then in parentheses, and then quotation marks, you're going to put what it equals. So let's say only if it equals 300. Now you can do words with this. Here I got an idea. I'm trying to think of something. Let's do the world one. We'll do the world one. The world placeholder is player world. Okay, so we'll only show this if it is equal to world nether. I believe that's the nether world, okay? So we'll do that. Save that. Let that upload. And I'll go ahead. And go to the nether here. MVTP world. Nether. Okay, it's up. Woo! Lagging out there for a second. Reload. Okay, YouTube, GUI. As you can see, we can see the potion. That has the higher priority. We are in the nether right now, so we're going to see that potion. So let's go to spawn. And we'll do YouTube GUI. And we see the banner now because we are no longer in the nether world. So it's just going to show that banner. And to show that that's working, let's go to the other world. This is my faction world, and yeah, it's still not showing. So it's only showing if they are in the world nether. So, interesting thing you can do with this, you can check for the opposite. So we can tell this, okay, we want to check for only if they're not in that world. So let's say we want to show the potion at all times except for in world nether. All we have to do, go in front of this quotation mark, put an exclamation point, save it. In Java, I'm not an expert in Java, so don't quote me on this, but with the little work I did in Java, exclamation point was usually meant to check the opposite of something, like in the syntax or whatever, you have an equal sign. If you put an exclamation point in front of it, it would be if it doesn't equal this. So let's check that real quick. DM, reload, YouTube, GUI. So we see this. We are not in the world nether. That's what we set it to, right? Yeah. Not in the nether. And you can see that we've got the potion. So let's go spawn. YouTube GUI. And we still see it. So if we go to MVTP world nether, I'm going to lag for a second. Okay. Whew, I don't know why that lags me. And you can see, we can see the banner now because we don't have the view requirement of the potion. So, what we can do now is, I'm going to Oops, disconnected there. Warp factions. What we can do now is we'll go over doing multiple requirements. This is the base of the view requirements. So you have a comparison, which is greater than or equal to, or you have a check that will check if it equals something. Now, there's way more you can do with this. I'm just literally covering the surface of things. You need to, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's built in a lot of different Java capabilities, because I know that when you check permissions, you can use like bucket player and stuff. I'm not going to get into that because I could literally go on forever. So I'm just going to go over what you're going to use most of the time. So we've got this view requirement. Let's say we want to require this. So we want them to, let's remove the quotation. We want them to be in the world nether to see it. And we want them to have a greater, we want their money to be set to over 1,000. Let me set my, oh wait, I think I'm at 500 right now, so that'll work. Yeah, okay. So we'll set now, we'll tell it to check if their economy is higher than a number. So let's do space and. This is telling it that there's going to be another requirement. There's two things you can do with that. You can either do and, or you can do this symbol. I didn't bother to look up what that symbol was called, but it's just the straight line. It's underneath backspace, I believe, on the / key. This is an or statement, and I'll go over or statement after we do the and statement. So let's do an and statement. We'll do, what was that thing I copied? Yeah, vault eco balance must be greater than 1,000. Okay, so this is saying they have to be in the world nether, and they have to have a eco balance of over 1,000. So let's save that. Go back to this. Come on now. TM reload. There we go. YouTube GUI. Okay, so we see the banner here. So before we had it just set to if we were in the world nether. So let's go world nether. And I'll open up GUI. And you can see we do not see the potion because the view requirement has not been met by the player. So let's do /eco set Lacramen. Let's do, it doesn't matter, anything over 1,000. Okay, so now my balance is set to 1,400. If we open it up, we can see the potion because we've met both the requirements. We're both in the world nether and we have above 1,000 in our eco. You can do this with any placeholder you want, literally any placeholder. Let's do an or statement. Let's just change this to or. Okay. So actually, before I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then I'm going to set my eco. Eco set Lacramen. Let's do 400. So now I have below 1,000, which is one of our requirements. So once this is done, DM reload. YouTube GUI. Now, one of our requirements is that we are in the world nether, so we can see it here. It's working fine. So if we leave the world, you can see that we have the banner now. So we have an or statement set up. So my balance is only 400. So let's set it to something higher than 1,000. Okay, then YouTube GUI. And we see the potion again. This is because we have an or statement. This or statement is saying if either of these things are met, to execute it. So instead of requiring both, like the and statement, this one is saying either one will do. So you can do all sorts of things with this. For instance, one thing I've done, I set up, I think I showed it in the last video, my kit menu, where it checks the view requirement is the kit available, because that's one of the placeholders available. So you do the placeholder in quotations, dot equals ignore case, and yes or no. Yes or no is what the default in placeholder API is. You can change that. Default in Java, Boolean returns a true or false statement, but he's got it set up where you can do yes or no, so it's a little bit easier. I use yes or no. That's what it will be by default. So unless you've messed with the configuration and placeholder API, it'll always be yes or no for a true or false statement. But basically you'd set this to the essentials placeholder that checks if it's available. And if it returns no, then it doesn't show it. And what we can do there is you put yes as what you want it to equal, because this is what it should return right here. And it'll return yes or no. So if you put it as, is it available? Yes. Then if they have the kit, it'll show it. If not, it won't show it. And I'll show you guys that. Let's go ahead and, where's my kits? We'll open this up. Here you go. So this is, these items, starter on and starter off. This is the starter kit. They're in the same slot. The normal one has the higher priority because we want it to show if it's available. So what I've done here is we have this placeholder, essentials kit is available starter dot equals ignore case yes. So if we put that in chat, let me show you. By the way, if you ever want to check whatever the placeholder is returning, the latest version of placeholders, I think 2.0 or 2.0.1, has the injector built in. Injector was a separate plugin, but now it is built in. So if you tell it to inject in a chat, you can put placeholders into chat with this. And so then you will know what it returns. For instance, right now, the kit is available for me. It's always available for me because I'm an op. So it's going to return yes. So we want it to equal yes. If they have it, view requirement checks it, says yeah, they have it. And so then they have this item which executes the player kit. So if they do it, they get the kit. And it closes the menu. If they reopen the menu and the kit is not available anymore, so this returns no instead of yes, then the item is not shown. And instead, starter off is shown. Starter off is a barrier, and it's in the same slot, has a lower priority, and it updates. And in the lore, I've got the essentials time until available. So they click the kit, gives it to them. When they go back, instead of just showing another icon and then them clicking it again and it's saying, oh, well, you don't have the kit, it actually shows they do not have the item and tells them how long they're going to have to wait. That's just one way you could use this. I mean, I use this stuff in all of my menus. So let's go over real quick, because I'm gonna have to stop this video here in a minute. Let's go over left click and right click requirements. These are different from the other stuff. I'm gonna actually remove the view requirements from this YouTube one here, because we've gone over that. So let's go ahead. I don't know why that was there anyways. Okay, we'll go ahead and remove that, and we'll put this in a different slot, because this is gonna be a separate thing. So we'll save that. Okay. I'm going to run. Do I have access to /me? Me test. Yeah, I do. Okay. We'll have it execute. Me. It worked. All right. So we got our left click command here. But we want to have a requirement, be that an inventory check with a placeholder, anything like that. To check if you have an item or if you have a certain amount of eco. We can do that too, and we'll have the same item there, so it won't change the item. It'll just won't allow them to click it. So if we do left click requirement. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to, hold on, I'm going to have to check up here and make sure I'm doing this right. Left click requirement. Okay, yeah, there is another. Okay, so we're going to have expression and then deny commands. Expression. Okay, the expression is exactly the same as before. This is exactly what the view requirement is, basically, except in a different area. So let's go ahead and do the same one we did before. That's not the one I want. I wanted Vault Eco. I think it's just Vault Eco. Yeah, it is. Okay. And we'll do this. Has to be greater than, let's say, 5,000 this time. Okay. So that's our requirement for them to left click. If they try to left click, it won't allow them to if they have under that balance. Now we can actually do a deny command as well. Deny commands. I believe, let me check the formatting on this real quick. deny, yeah. Okay. So we can do close, have it close the menu. And as a player, we'll say it did not work. Okay, so we'll save this. Go back into here, DM reload. Wait for that to upload. There we go. Oops, DM reload, YouTube, GUI. All right. So the banner, we have the left click. Let me check my balance first. Okay. Yeah, I have less than 5,000. So if we click the left click the banner, it did not work. All right. So that means that we were denied and it executed these deny commands. So let's change the balance again. Eco set Crayman 6,000. Okay. YouTube GUI. Then we left click. It worked. So it did the commands that we already had set with left click commands. Now, if you want to do right, just change it to right. That's all you got to do. And this is extremely useful if you have a shop or if you have a plugin that requires some sort of item like a key or something. There's just an infinite amount of things you can do with this. I'm sorry if this tutorial seemed a little rushed, but I am in a hurry right now, and I've been trying to film this. Or record this, but I kept messing up, kept having issues, so I decided just to go for it, and I wouldn't worry about correcting any mistakes. So I hope I didn't make too many mistakes. I don't think I made any in the configuration. But yeah, that's how you use it. Because of the amount of placeholders, I mean, look at this list. This is just, I mean, it just goes on. And he's still adding some. He actually, yesterday I got him to add a sound placeholder. He wants to add more. You can hook into all sorts of plugins. MVDW, if you have one of his plugins, it can hook into, placeholder can hook into his API, and then you get all of his requirements, and you can do the same thing with them. So there really is just infinite uses for this. You can set up all sorts of cool menus. I would highly suggest you download it. Everything on it is free. It could very easily be a paid plugin, and he's not anywhere near finished developing it. He's still working on it. He's still adding new features. So yeah, go download it. Play around with it. If you have any problems, you can either reply to the thread, and I watch that thread, so if it pops up, I'll try to reply to you. You can also tag me in it. My name on Spigot is DeluxeMenus. It's the same. He also has a Skype chat, which if you go to one of his plugins, I think it's at the top, it's a Skype help chat blob or something. Copy that, whatever that is on there, and then paste it into any Skype chat, and then you can click it, and you can join it, and we'll help you out there. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you have any ideas on follow-up videos I could do for this, let me know, and I'll be sure to look at them, see if it's something interesting. I'm planning on doing more updates. He's told me personally that I think he's coming out with an update soon, so I'll be sure to do another video when he comes out with it. So yeah, subscribe, and if you have a plugin that you need help with or you would like me to review, let me know.